Raider Nation, what's going on? Before we get into today's mailbag that was filmed on Tuesday, friendly reminder to go ahead and subscribe to Chat Sports at the link that you see below, youtube.com/chatsportstv. We're going to be live all 3 days, all 7 rounds. It's going to be the #1 most watched draft coverage on YouTube, and we're going to get the picks before you see them on television. So there's the link. It's going to be in the comments and description. Go subscribe to Chat Sports. Let's go to the first super chat, and it's a big one. Patrick B. Raiders! I know I'm excited to see what Tyree Gillespie can do as a safety. How do you feel about him? Well, if you guys haven't seen a funny video, couldn't pronounce his name last year, but this year I can. I do like Tyree Gillespie a lot. I always thought he was a good overall safety when he first came out of Missouri. He had a lot of injury issues last season. One of the things that I love, though, about him was his versatility and his ability to not only tackle, but he went up against some very legit wide receivers last season at Missouri. Or 2 years ago when he was with the Tigers. He's a good player. It's just going to be figuring out where he fits because he's probably behind Roderick Teamer. He's behind Deron Harmon. He's behind Jonathan Abrahm. How much playing time is there for the 4th rounder? Let's go to Dave Wilson. What do you think about Jojo? Okay, you're actually going to see him in a show today. The linebacker from Nebraska, or Nick Cross, safety from Maryland. So I actually did a mock draft, I'm going to say 3 weeks ago, and I took Nick Cross. I think that this guy could go in the 2nd round. He's a very athletic, very built safety. I ended up getting him in the 4th, though, in my mock. And then Jojo, he's another good linebacker prospect. I would say he's more in this 4th round area. However, it's really going to depend on There's like a grouping of 3rd round linebackers. If they go a lot earlier, somebody like Jojo could go earlier, but he could end up sliding down the board a little bit. If you were to ask me which guy I think is a better prospect, I would say Nick Cross, though I would rather take Jojo because it's a bigger need for this team. Let's go to Perry. What up, man? So we got Abe Lucas, Daniel, I believe you mean Falele, and then Kobe B. I'm going to go with Kobe Bryant. If all 3 of those players were on the board, I would rank them Abraham Lucas, then I would go Daniel Falele, and then I'd go Kobe. I mean, if all 3 of those guys were available, I would be jumping for joy because I don't see all 3 of those guys being there. Abraham Lucas, though, is more than likely going to be taken in the top 60 picks, but that's the route I'm going to go. What about y'all, though? Who do you want the Raiders to draft at number 86 overall? I actually made a video about this on the Raiders Report YouTube channel. I ranked them, my top 10 players that I would realistically take at 86. If you're curious on some names that I'm thinking, go ahead, check out the video. It's also available. But in the meantime, let me know down in the comments right now, who do you want the Raiders to draft at 86 overall? What up, LC? How many believe it, babies? Alex Leatherwood starts at right tackle. I'm going to go ahead and say half of a baby, which is a leg of a baby. I just don't see it happening. I don't see Leatherwood having the athletic ability to play right tackle in the National Football League. And when they made the pick, that was one of the very first things I said. And I know that some of y'all got mad at me for it, but it's one of those scenarios where I don't like to say I told you so. It's just Leatherwood is a guard. That's what he is. He's a guard. He has a better chance of playing left guard than he does right tackle. Let's go to what happens next. I was thinking Tyrannosaurus Rex is what came to my mind here, but I don't know. Fansided said that the Raiders should sign Eric Fisher since we need a right tackle. Well, Fansided, it's bad at their job. Fansided doesn't know what they're talking about. Eric Fisher's a left tackle. And he played left tackle last season for the Colts, and just because somebody is a tackle, it doesn't mean that they can just go over to the right side. If the Raiders want a right tackle, his name's Darrell Williams, and hopefully by the time you guys see this video on a later date, he's still available. But yes, Eric Fisher, no, go Fish. Darrell Williams, yes. If you guys want even more Raiders coverage for free, yes, I said free, hit the subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. That way you never miss a video. We're pumping out news, rumors, fan-led mock drafts, regular mock drafts with trades. And we're just dishing out trades left and right. Mock drafts. I mean, if you want Raiders content, we are your one-stop shop. We got everything here. Unless you're looking for a mystery box. Then I don't got a mystery box. But what I do have is a brand new Raiders video out every single day. That I can guarantee you. Let's go to Dave Wilson. Will Graham use Abrahm like Jabril Peppers? Good question. Yes and no is going to be the answer. Jabril Peppers is a better safety than what Abrahm is. Abrahm is probably a better, I'll say, run stopper, better pass rusher, but Jabril is a better overall safety, definitely better in coverage. But I do think that they're going to be similarly used. Abraham's going to be in the box. He's going to be up near the line of scrimmage. That's how he's going to be used the most. But when I go back and I look at Abraham's like snap usage, right? He's one of the highest snap players every single game for the Raiders. I think that number is going to get cut in half. I think Duron Harmon's going to be the guy that they use a lot more. Dave, though, appreciate the question. What up, man? Mitch, do you know or think you know which player Hondo Carpenter has been referring to that is considering the Raiders? I think it's Tyrann Mathieu. # just win, baby. No, I don't really follow Hondo all too closely. I mean, a lot of these guys, you know, they do exactly what we do. They do their best to report on what's available out there, though Hondo did do a very good job covering the whole Josh McDaniels story. But no, I do not have an inside scoop on what Hondo Carpenter's doing. Sorry. Let's go to Javier. Would you trade Jacobs for a second? Yeah, in a heartbeat. But no NFL team in their right mind is going to give you a second-round pick for Jacobs. I would say, you know, when I think about other teams out there, like the Panthers want a first-round pick for Christian McCaffrey. That's not going to happen. The Giants, they want a first-round pick for Saquon Barkley. That's not going to happen. So from NFL analysts and people that I talk to, second-round pick for McCaffrey, I don't even think a team would give up a second-round pick at this point for Barkley. I would say if the Raiders could get a third-round pick for Jacobs, I would still probably be even surprised about that. Josh is a good running back, but running backs don't have the value in today's NFL because they're easily replaceable, especially when you look at the injuries that Josh has had. He's unbelievable. But no NFL team is going to give up a second-round pick for Josh. Let's go to Just Oakland Bias. Should the Raiders bring back Donald Penn? He said he wants to play again. Yeah, I mean, I want to play football too. Donald Penn, guys, is what, 36, 37 years old? And he's probably going to fall into that category of was one time a really good player. I know y'all fall in love with these old Raiders guys all the time, but we got to face it. We try to rely on Richie Incognito last year. Father Time is undefeated. Donald wants to play. He says he's in shape. Big difference between being in football shape and then being in shape in general. Like, I'm in halfway decent shape. I am nowhere even close to being in football shape. So, Donald Penn, it's a big old fat no from me, dog. But you know what? We're going to ask you anyway. Y for yes, N for no. Should Vegas bring back Donald Penn? And if you're like, Donald Penn is better than Brandon Parker right now, then maybe you type your Y for yes. Y'all know how I feel about Brandon Parker. I would rather have Brandon Parker at right tackle than Donald Penn right now. It's just me being real. Let's go to Cameron. Who is the best right tackle in the draft, and would you trade up to get him? The best right tackle in the draft is Trevor Penning from Northern Iowa, and I've talked about him numerous times. It's just, what are you going to have to give up to get him? And I put out a video a few days ago, Cameron, about some trade ideas to try to get up into the first round or try to get up into the second round. My trade idea to get up into round one was trading Jonathan Abrahm, John Simpson, I believe it was a first-round pick in 2023, and then there was like 3 more picks on top of that. And all those trades that I did, I put through the trade value chart to make sure that they were 100% fair, to make sure that they weren't just one-sided. So, appreciate the question, but he's going to have to fall down to 40, 41, 42 to even think about trading up for him. Let's go to Casey the Sledge. Hey, Mitch, where are all the remaining holes? I was looking around for some holes. Personally, I don't know, man. I mean, we can go ask Shia LaBeouf. I know he's been digging holes for a long time. The biggest holes on the Raiders team, I would still say, is right tackle. Finding another receiver outside. Like, I don't want to just sit here and say I'm confident in Bryan Edwards and Demarcus Robinson, though. I'll settle for it. Another hole that the Raiders have is finding an extra backup tight end because the Raiders need an extra tight end. Another defensive back, linebacker is probably the biggest need, and then I might even go ahead and say defensive tackle because you have some depth there. Defensive tackle, linebacker, those are probably the still 2 biggest holes right now. Now, guys, I get it. We get a lot of questions here on our show. So whether you're watching this live on YouTube or whether you're watching this on Rumble, I get it. I can't get to all y'all's questions. It's just the truth. So what I want you to do is DM me your questions on Locals, and if you do, I will respond. Like, it's going to be the easiest way for me to be able to go ahead and do that. Some people who I know are members over on Locals. Shout out to Tom, Raider Rob 78, Giovanni, Super Raider 831. I also told them to put in their area codes. So shout out to Def Jasper, Adam Jones, and then Nathan. Y'all are real ones. If you want to see your name shouted out here on the Raiders Report, go ahead, become a member. It's 100% free. How? At RaidersReport.locals.com. That's the link. It's also in the comments. It's also in the description of today's video. Let's go to Cody. Do you think Mullen and Rocky Ya-Sin will begin the season as starters? If the Raiders don't make any other adjustments this year in terms of going out and signing another corner, I'll say yes. Though, I would not be surprised if Averett, who's the corner that the Raiders went ahead and they signed from the Baltimore Ravens, I like him a lot, and I also know that the Raiders coaches are high on him. I'll say yes that Mullen and Rocky Ya-Sin will start. However, it wouldn't surprise me if only Rocky Ya-Sin was the remaining cornerback starter at the end of the season. What up, Alexander? Mitch, even 5 just win babies are less babies. Yikes. Yikes. Let's go to James. Could you see the Raiders drafting Falele if he's available? He's 6'8", he's like 360 pounds. And one of the things that Carmen Bracillo has always done a good job of is he finds these players that, we'll say, have high upside, have these giant bodies, and is able to mold them into good right tackles. Like Trent Brown was a monster of a man. Whether you like to admit it or not, he was. He was a 7th-round pick. Bracillo did a great job working with him, and he turned out to be a really good offensive lineman when Carmen Bracillo was working with him. So if I was Daniel Falele, if I was his agent, I would love the opportunity to come to the Raiders. I would love the opportunity to be able to work with Carmen Bracillo. So if he's available, sure, absolutely it's a possibility. Let's go to Jesse Ballard. What are your thoughts on Sky Moore? Okay, I think you mean Smoke Monday, the safety from Auburn. Really cool name, and I wish he was a better football player because of the name. So we have a rule here at Chat Sports, or at least Tom Downey does, where if a guy's got a really cool name, he's probably going to be really good at football. Smoke Monday is, he's a physical player. I just don't see him materializing in the National Football League. Like, he can't cover. So, Smoke, sorry. I'm going to puff pass, though. Let's go to Sean. What up, brother? Bring Penn back as an assistant offensive line coach. I mean, maybe. I don't know if that's what he wants to do. I don't know if that's the best route that I would go. I mean, the Raiders coaching staff, I'm going to put a lot of faith into them because they've done a lot of good things this offseason. They've put their team in the right situation. So, if Donald Penn wants to come back that bad, maybe. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to trust the Raiders coaching staff because they've proven to me this offseason that they got their shit together.